Witam wszystkich. What's up, everyone? JPS back for another one, and today we're going to be reacting to Visit Poland 10 things that will shock you about Poland. I hope you guys enjoyed that attempt at some Polish to start the video. Not an easy language to speak. But the reason we're watching this is because I believe that in my next trip to Europe, Poland will be one of the countries that I visit. I have a friend, some of you may remember him from some of the travel vlogs to Germany a couple years ago. His name's Ryan. And on that same trip, he actually visited Poland. He was in Warsaw and he had a good experience out there. He said I should definitely go visit. I've had some other friends I know go out to Poland and everyone seems to have a great time. So I figure, why not be my turn next? I know absolutely nothing about Poland or the Polish people or really the language, despite that very failed attempt at pronouncing something to start the video. So today we got the ultimate travel guide, Walter's World, telling us 10 things that will shock you about Poland. Original video will be linked down below. If you're from Poland watching this, make sure you hit that subscribe button for more Polish content coming soon, potentially some travel vlogs in the future on this channel. Let's get right into this, guys. Here we go.
Hey there, fellow travelers. Mark here with Walter's World, and today we're in the main square here in Krakow, Poland. Beautiful city, definitely worth checking out. And today what we have for you are the 10 things that shock tourists when they come here to Poland.
Okay.
And the first thing that shocks people when they come to Poland is...
What?
The Polish face, the Polish look. When you come here, you'll notice that people walk around
Damn.
like this, just... There's no emotion. It's not happy, it's not sad, it's just neutral. And it's funny because you see it anywhere. Within the train station, you're going out to eat, you're going to the stores, you're going all over the place. They just have the same look. And you're like, wait a minute, can't you be happy or sad or something? No, they have this like dead on
no,
look.
I do see that. Listen, I already know it's some people in the comments saying, well, if I'm just walking around and going about my day, why do I have to be all jolly and happy? Hey guys, I'm in the train station. I love life right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? I understand like why. That's cool. I like that. I like that. But yeah, that is Walter, this guy, he's American. I'm American. We are not used to seeing stuff like this because everyone here is like, everything's awesome. No, it's not. So I'm sure that probably means though, when a Polish person is actually happy, they're, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to guess if their smile is real. Like they're actually happy. And when they're sad, they're sad. I mean, that's how it really should be. But that is a little bit of a culture shock somehow.
Which works really well because you'll see the women here are gorgeous, okay? And when you see them walk, you're like,
Really?
oh, they're just preparing for their supermodel career. Because when you're on the catwalk, you don't show any emotion. So they actually works really well. But it is kind of funny how the people, you know, you do have this look, and that's the first thing that shocks people. Also kind of going along with the people, you might be shocked that, look, the Poles are not like the jokes you heard as a kid. They're not dumb, they're not alcoholics, stuff like that. You don't have that. I mean, yes, there are, but that's everywhere. It's not more or less than you get in other countries. So that also kind of shocks the people when they come here, because I'm used to all those Polish jokes where, what is it, 4 Polish people, and how do they, you know, move the bed or something?
On this topic, guys, I researched this out of curiosity. I wanted to know what was the highest blood alcohol concentration in a human ever. And I'm pretty sure it's a Polish man, and I'm pretty sure he was driving a car. Don't quote me, that might be wrong, but I have heard a lot about the drinking in Poland. So, hey, I'll be there with y'all. Don't worry.
You don't have that here. The second thing that'll shock you when you come here also deals with the Polish people are how Catholic and how religious the people are. I mean,
Really?
I remember going on the buses in Lublin,
Religious?
and these like punk rock guys are in there, and they go by a church and they all do the sign of the cross. I'm like, whoa, I didn't expect that. People here in Poland are very religious, and the churches, this is St. Mary's. Honestly, the first time I walked in there 20 years ago, I would just jaw drop. Wow, the blue altar and the blue ceiling and everything, it's just amazing. And the churches around the country are gorgeous, and they're actually building more churches here. You know, other countries, they're turning churches into apartments and hotels and bars. Here, people still go to church. They still do believe, and you do have a very religious, conservative feel when the people are here, which is kind of a different thing. And you go, and when you go in the churches, that's the real thing about it. You really see the beauty of the churches, the ones that haven't been destroyed during the war, that maybe they've been rebuilt, but like here and other ones, you really go in and just see the majestic beauty of the churches here. So do take the chance to go into the churches. Don't just go, oh, it's another church. Go in and check it out. And that kind of leads into the third thing.
I would not have expected the Polish people to be like devout Catholics or like deeply religious. I'm gonna have to look at some of the religious statistics in Poland. That is something I was not expecting.
Shock you when you come to Poland is how much Poland was destroyed during the Second World War. I mean, Krakow was lucky. It didn't really get destroyed during the war, but a lot of the other cities were just leveled. For example, Warsaw. When you go there, you'll go see the Uprising Museum and realize that everything old in Krakow is actually younger than probably your dad, because they had to rebuild it all after the war because it got leveled by the Nazis. And you'll see that, and you go around, that's why you'll see the communist architecture and the big square, long, rectangle buildings and stuff like that, because there was nothing there. It was all destroyed, so they had to rebuild. And when you really see the level of destruction throughout the country and how much they've come back and built new stuff, you'll be very proud of the people, and that's what's really cool about it. Now, the fourth thing that's going to shock you when it comes to Poland is how completely incomprehensible and illegible the Polish language is. Look, if you don't speak Polish, it's okay. The locals know you don't speak Polish. They'll still try to speak Polish with you, but Polish is...
Bro, yeah. That's different.
Just one of those languages, you're listening at the train station, you're like, yeah, I got nothing. Yeah, I don't even know
wait. What? I said, wait.
Yeah, I don't know.
What was that? What is that? This is a normal sandwich, but what am I looking at? Zapychaki.
You're like, yeah, I got nothing. Yeah, I don't even know what city I'm going to. It is a very tough language, and it's very hard to pronounce. Like, how do you say PRZ in a row? And there's like a hat, and there's an L with a line through it. Is that a T or a what? What is that? You do get pretty confused when you are here, and it is kind of shocking that you can't even make out some of the stuff. Now, they are developing better for tourism, so you will have a lot of, English menus and stuff like that, but it is a really good idea to know some Polish before you come, like dziękuję, which is like thank you, prosim is please, things like that, because it really gets those people to go from, you say, dwa piwa prosim, oh, you speak Polish, and they really open up then, okay? The fifth thing that might shock you is...
That's just how it is. Like, when you speak someone's language anywhere around the world, all the barriers drop. Maybe not all, okay, but you know what I mean? Yeah, and also, Americans, when they travel places, like, they expect to just everything to fall into place or the world to kind of revolve around them in some ways. And a lot of other languages do have cognates and some similarities with English and the other Romance languages, but, like, you just can't expect that everywhere you go. I mean... Polish doesn't even look that bad. Imagine you're trying to, you go to China or a lot of countries throughout Asia, and it's just, you're looking at just gibberish, really. If you only know English, you have no idea.
The fifth thing that might shock you is your eating experience here. The Poles really love their potatoes and their cabbage. And even if it's not on the menu, like it might say, oh, it's a cutlet, nice. It'll come with cabbage and potatoes. And you're like, oh, I'll have the pork knuckle instead. Oh, it comes with pork and cabbage. Well, then I'll just have the rolls. Oh, it's a cabbage roll. Okay. Look, you're gonna have a lot of cabbage. You're gonna have a lot of potatoes when you are here, and there are some really good foods like the pierogi. You gotta have that when you're here. I've actually liked the meats when I was here too, and they do a good job with the potatoes, but it's all the time with the with the cabbage and the potatoes again and again and again. That's why yesterday I just got the cabbage rolls. I'm like, look, because then I know I'm getting the cabbage, haha, and it came with a side of mashed potatoes, and I just laughed and laughed and laughed. Okay.
This food looks like I have not really seen food like this before, but I definitely want to try this. Also, guys, for the people in Poland, what is the most popular form of alcohol to drink? It has to be vodka, right? It's like, are beers super, like, what's the biggest thing, casual drinking? Is this still vodka?
Also, kind of interesting is they really love their tea here too. Now, the sixth thing that might shock you as a tourist is, you notice there's not very many tourists. Now, in Krakow, you do get about 10 million tourists a year. I mean, this is a very popular place because it's gorgeous, and I'll talk about that towards the end. But honestly, there's not a lot of tourists that actually come to Poland, and so when you go around, you really are kind of a special tourist because you're actually here. You might get people going, why are you in Lublin? You know, why are you in Łódź? Why are you here? You know, some places like Krakow, it's obvious, you know, but you go around and there's just so few tourists out there that you're like, hey, I can kick back, relax, and do okay. And what kind of leads on to that is our next shock is how cheap it is here. Because there's not a lot of tourists driving up the prices, it's nice because you can have a very affordable vacation here in Poland. Rooms, accommodation, food, drink, making merry, all kinds of stuff. And you'll see a lot of people come to like Krakow or Warsaw to come have a party weekend and stuff like that, because you really can. Your money goes a lot farther here than other places, and that's what's really cool. Now, the next thing is going to shock.
Like, that is like an amazing pro. Money. Like, if you go somewhere and it's cheaper, your experience is just going to be better. You can do more with less. And also, the fact that there's not that many tourists, please let me know if that's really the case in the comments, because this video is several years old. You know, I think this is like 8 or 9 years old. But like, why would you want to go somewhere and just be surrounded by people who aren't from there or who are from the United States? Like, that's my worst nightmare. I hate going to another country. I know I'm complaining, oh, I get to travel. Like, it's amazing I get to travel, but I really despise like being in a new place and be surrounded by American tourists. That just sucks. You want to immerse yourself in the local culture and meet some people from the place you're visiting. That's what it's all about. So those are two massive pros and like huge upsides to visiting Poland. And the cool part about this, guys, is I'm telling you, I had no knowledge of Poland just coming into this video. So everything is just like flooding my brain right now. And I really like what I'm hearing about Poland.
When you are here is the amount of natural beauty and space in Poland. Look, this is a huge country. It's one of the biggest countries in Europe. And the thing is, you're going to be going between these different towns, whether it's on a bus or a train, things like that. Not super fast trains, but fast enough trains. And you're going around, and it's just amazing how big the country is, but also the natural beauty you see when you go through there. And what's nice is when you go through, and you can go, if you're in the north, you're going to Gdansk. And that's one of my favorite. Krakow and Gdansk are my two favorites. You're up in Gdansk, you come down a bit, you can go over to the Masurian Lakes and see the castle that's right by there, the Malbork Castle, which is on the way towards there. Go to the lakes and enjoy that. Go to the coast in the north. In the south, you've got the Tatras Mountains, and you go to Zakopane to stay there. Tons of Europeans go there to ski in the winter because, yes, it's beautiful and it's cheap. Remember what I said before? But you have this natural beauty, like, wow, this really is. I understand why they have all their tourism propaganda is about, you know, the natural beauty of Poland, because it really is beautiful. Having said that, the next thing that'll shock you is how amazing the town squares are here in Poland. Yes, here in Krakow, you've got the cloth hall over here.
That looks like a classic town square, like market square. So tell me, guys, are Krakow, Gdansk, Warsaw, is that like a good top 3, or are there other places that are better to travel to? First time in Poland. This is cool though. I like this.
You've got the St. Mary's Church over there. You've got all these things. Sorry. You've got all these things to go and see. And this is actually the largest town square in Europe. And it's amazing, but it's not just here. You go to Warsaw to see their old town square they really built from scratch. Wrocław, go see the old town in Lublin. Oh man, Gdansk, the port city of Gdansk, man, you just walk around there, see the Neptune statue, you're like, man, this is so cool. And you have all these beautiful squares, and you have all these beautiful buildings that have been rebuilt after the war, or maybe they're still there from before the war. You have that beauty that not a lot of people think of. Because when they think of Poland, you're thinking of, you know, oh, it's farmland and stuff like that. And look, there are some just amazing places here in Poland, so it's definitely worth checking out. And the 10th thing that might shock you when you do come to Poland is the lack of service. So remember that Polish face. This is your service. It's not the most attentive. It's not the most friendly. You'll get your food. It'll just take some time. But just know, Poland isn't necessarily the most service-oriented economy out there, so you need to have some patience when you are coming here. And probably that's the only thing that shocks you kind of in a bad way, is really the service here isn't the best, but it's getting better. I used to come here a lot in the early 2000s for work, and compared to 2017 versus 2007 or 2002, Man, it's completely different. Anyway, I hope that helped you know a few things that might shock you before you come to Poland. It is a great country to visit because you're one of the few tourists coming here to see some of these beautiful cities like Krakow. So if you want to learn more, 5 things you love and hate about Warsaw.
I'm about to run those videos next for sure. So I feel like the lack of service or lower quality service when it comes to restaurants is not really a big deal. Like that's for Americans, and I'm sure Poland doesn't have the same tipping culture that we have in the United States. But what I gathered from this video is that Poland is an overlooked country and definitely a sleeper because you know it's right next to Germany. It's kind of, I'm not going to say smack in the middle of Europe, but there's just so many other options. So you know it may not have the same like notable or popular features that other places have. You know, I mean, if you go, everyone knows about London, Buckingham Palace. Everyone knows about the Brandenburg Gate. Everyone knows about the Eiffel Tower. You know, like if you ask an American to name a site or a place in Poland, a lot of people are going to struggle hard. So that's why I say that. But sometimes those are the best countries to visit. So this 100% motivated me even more to visit Poland in the future. And I do really hope that I can make this country one of the destinations on my next trip to Europe. So guys, feel free to let me know your thoughts. If you're from Poland, make sure you hit the subscribe button. I welcome you to the channel. Thanks so much for joining. And anyone else who is not from Poland but has visited the country, let me know how your experience was. So yeah, thanks so much for watching, everyone. I really appreciate you guys, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.